Finally, we have Assassin's Creed news. Roll intro. So I think a lot of us were expecting to get news of Assassin's Creed VR over on the Meta showcase the other day, except for it didn't come. We didn't get any information on it, and we now know that that's probably because it's going to be within the next sort of 12 months at least that we're going to get a game of this, potentially anyway. We've now had that kind of confirmed that we're looking at a time space of probably the next 12 months we're going to get this game, which is kind of exciting in itself to know that it's actually a lot further along than we thought, because before the only stuff that we were really hearing is that they're still hiring people to work on it, which tends to mean we're going to be looking at well over a year. So at this point, from what they're saying, it looks like the game might be quite a bit further along than they're actually explaining, which I'm kind of hoping means more information maybe in the next 6 months to actually find out some real solid stuff on this. Now let's go over everything that we do know right now and the news that's dropped today, alongside with the leaks of some like actual footage of the intro and then some footage of the controller scheme, which actually leads me into some interesting topics. So let's stick around and find out everything we know about Assassin's Creed VR. So things that we do know so far is we're going to be able to play our main characters that we've loved in some of the other games like Ezio, Cassidoria and Hyphy. So they're going to be playable characters, which kind of leads me to believe personally that we're not going to have a fully open world experience. The other thing that we now know as well is that there's going to be 16 missions. Now bear in mind that this is early days, these are leaks. They're likely to be changed, right? Things are going to be changed. This might not be set in absolute stone. If it is 16 missions, it could be okay as long as those missions are of decent length. If we're going to be playing like as 3 different characters across these missions, I'm going to assume that we're probably just going to have like set ones that lead through like a short story maybe for each character. And yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. Are we going to be locked into a city or something like that for each mission? Maybe. I mean, if the mission lengths were like, 45 minutes to an hour long, 16 missions suddenly seems really, really good. If the missions are like 10 minutes long, 16 missions suddenly doesn't sound so good. So I don't know, man. As far as I'm concerned with those kinds of things, they really are things that we shouldn't focus on too heavily at the moment until we actually have a concrete, confirmed answer from Ubisoft and everything like that. Then I think we should take these things with a grain of salt and just take them at face value. 16 missions sounds good until it sounds bad. So let's focus on positive things. There will of course be a tutorial which has been confirmed. Kind of an odd thing to confirm, to be honest with you, considering a tutorial really should be on every game. Especially something like this that's going to have complex movements in it. They have also confirmed that there's going to be 2 different movement styles, so normally like your free locomotion, like what I would definitively use, which is joysticks to run around and be a mad lad. And they've also said that they're going to put teleportation in this, but they're going to handle teleportation in an interesting way, which means basically the other characters around you will be able to be aware and they'll hear your teleportation. So if you teleport to like 10 foot behind someone, they won't hear you. If you teleport like 4 feet behind someone, they're going to hear you and you will alert them because you're going to have a sound meter that's attached to your teleportation. So I think that's quite cool because it's going to stop people sort of like cheesing the game and essentially just teleporting behind someone like hidden blade, everybody's dead. Because that would kind of, defeat the object of the game, right? Just cheese your way through the entire thing. We have had also weirdly confirmed that there will be a hidden blade. I mean, criminy, if they made an Assassin's Creed game that didn't have a hidden blade, it'd be concerning. And I think there would be some complaints, considering it is the key weapon I think we all automatically go to when we think Assassin's Creed. Kind of be like playing God of War and him having no weapon. I only fight with my fists. It's also been confirmed that there's going to be swordplay in this, like your traditional stabby, slice, and of course some parrying and everything else to go alongside it, which is kind of cool and exciting because that means we're actually still going to have like the full Assassin's Creed experience in that sense of things. Hidden blades and swords, kind of a must. I think so anyway. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Can you imagine if they actually didn't put a hidden blade in this? Flop. Some other things that we've had confirmed as well is there's going to be stuff like lockpicking in the game, which I think is pretty cool. So they kind of be like mini games in order to actually break into things. We've also had confirmed that there's going to be stealth and that obviously in this. I mean, really, these confirmations are kind of things that are a bit no-brainery because if they're not in the games, it's going to be kind of like hitting your head off a brick wall really hard because it would mean they've really messed up on this development. So I know a lot of these things sound a bit like, yeah, okay, of course, but they're interesting because they're actually being confirmed, which means we can kind of lay to rest a little bit of kind of lay to rest just a little bit of our worries about what the things that are being developed for this game. Just knowing that these things are coming is kind of exciting in my opinion. The other things that we've had confirmed for being in it as well is the leap of faith. Now I am so glad that this is actually going to make it into the game, because I was kind of worried, because here's the thing, right, and this is the discussion that we can definitely have in the comments down below if you're interested in it. Movement systems and, oh my god, being too scared to implement certain things into virtual reality. Now the leap of faith is definitely one of those things that, my god, if they put a cutscene in it, I'll scream. I will freaking scream at somebody, because I don't want no cutscenes for this. I want to experience it. I want to jump off of this thing and I want to straight into the hay. That's just a freaking must. It has been confirmed that it's in there. From what they've said, you're going to have to T-pose and then just fall down and make it happen. So let's just pray that there's no cutscene or something disgusting that they've done with it. And like I say, it's kind of an interesting subject for me anyway, because a lot of games, they just don't know how to handle things, or they're too scared that people are going to pukey in VR. Oh no, what if people get sicky? Well, how about we focus on giving people the best movement options ever, because then you cater for everybody, and then give them accessibility options throughout these things so that a hardcore user can have their hardcore options, and then the softcore user who's just getting their VR legs together can still enjoy the game and give them their options. Just do that, for crying out loud, because then everybody gets to enjoy the game. And don't shy away from mechanics because you're too scared. I think by now we've proven that really, actually, the majority of us can kind of handle pretty much anything in virtual reality. We just have to do it. So now we move on to the last little bit of this, probably the most exciting part of this, quite frankly, is the leaked footage that we've had for the little bit of like in the menu stuff. So I've got this going now as I'm talking. Again, it doesn't show a busting amount, but if you do pause on this, you can kind of read a bit of the mission description. I'm not going to do that too much. I don't want to ruin things for people. I'm just kind of interested. Personally, I'm not a massively big fan of leaks and things like that. This one kind of hit me different, which is why I bothered to make a video on it, because I'm personally very invested and excited for this game to come out. It's the one that I'm really excited for. This and GTA, I am there for it, so I'm very excited. So yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of that. The other thing that is quite interesting though is the fact that they've released obviously what the game controls are going to be. Very exciting to see in there things like the hidden blade triggers, parkour buttons, switching between play movement styles, so you'll be able to run around and then be able to switch into parkour mode, which I assume is going to kind of like give you that really like automatic jump to things perhaps. I don't know, I'm super interested to see how that works. I want it to be super duper fluent. But I guess we'll see. I doubt that we're going to get a full body in this game. I just can't see them going to that extreme because it's in standalone. It's a lot more work to make that happen, but I would love to see it. I'd kind of like to see my leggy legs doing their thing. Anyway, that's going to do us for this video. If you want to know more about the Quest games that are coming out, you can click on this single video over here, and this will take you across to all of those. I'm telling you, there's some really good titles coming out, so if you're unaware, give it a click, go give it a watch, and you will enjoy. If you're new, subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.